Every large language model actually lives right here, etched directly into the microscopic pathways of advanced silicon wafers. Building the data centers to run these models takes staggering capital and specialized hardware, a physical space dominated by NVIDIA's graphics processing units. This diagram illustrates the global memory chip supply. Massive server farms are absorbing so much capacity they choke off the pipeline, pushing prices higher across the industry and putting severe pressure on smartphone and laptop manufacturers. The AI boom is heavily constrained by these physical supply chain bottlenecks, and those bottlenecks ultimately dictate the economics of the entire market. To secure the memory they need, hardware makers are paying a heavy premium.
Qualcomm recently reported double-digit price increases just to offset these soaring costs. At the same time, the broader market is carrying near-record levels of leverage. Investors are heavily utilizing levered ETFs to bet on tech and semiconductors, pushing total margin debt close to $1.5 trillion. This chart plots rising AI hardware costs against total market margin debt. The massive $1.5 trillion debt pile amplifies the volatility you see here, making the underlying compute power astronomically expensive and highly unstable. With hardware costs surging and market leverage hitting these record peaks, the financial barrier for a standard enterprise is shifting. It raises a difficult question. How can a typical business scale these tools while maintaining a sustainable bottom line? For most enterprises, the decision comes down to two options. Option A is sending your proprietary data out to external frontier AI labs. Option B is keeping the data and running your models internally. Relying on external frontier labs creates a closed loop, where the lab absorbs the value of your proprietary information, leaving your business entirely dependent on their infrastructure. Palantir CEO Alex Karp aggressively urges companies to retain absolute control over their intellectual property rather than renting it out. This bar chart compares Palantir's recent revenue growth. The market is clearly rewarding their philosophy, with their second quarter U.S. commercial revenue showing a 149% surge. This is the premise of AI sovereignty, the idea that a business must tightly control its own data and models to survive and capture value in this environment. Achieving that sovereignty requires a structural shift away from closed proprietary labs and toward open-weight models. Open-weight models give companies the architecture they need to run advanced AI entirely on their own physical servers. This schematic maps out fine-tuning. Businesses route specific internal datasets directly into open models to create a customized tool. Because this happens locally, the data never leaves its own firewall, staying completely isolated from the public cloud. This level of data governance acts as the fundamental moat, directly protecting an enterprise's future value. This defensive strategy extends far beyond tech firms and defense contractors. Consumer brands are adopting data sovereignty as a baseline operating principle. Uber recently reported $58 billion in gross bookings, driven by their ability to privately leverage massive datasets across their mobility and delivery networks. In physical retail, companies like Jersey Mike's rely on tightly guarded internal metrics to orchestrate highly complex, perishable supply chains. By keeping their logistics and operations data secure, these retailers can optimize their daily workflows without accidentally training a competitor's algorithm. We see similar strategies in e-commerce, where Ryan Cohen's live commerce initiatives at GameStop represent an effort to build a proprietary, closed-loop system for retail customers. Whether a business is moving passengers, making sandwiches, or shipping physical goods, protecting the flow of proprietary data is what drives their bottom-line profitability. The immense capital expenditure and intense hardware shortages at the base of the tech stack are forcing companies to become ruthless about how they monetize data at the top. The financial rewards of artificial intelligence won't flow exclusively to the manufacturers etching the silicon. The ultimate winners will be the enterprises that successfully guard their internal data, achieve true AI sovereignty, and refuse to become extraction points for external labs.